It doesn't matter who they are, what type of person they are, what they did to hurt you. You can still hurt. That no one would have been able to love me the way that that person did. Let yourself feel pain, because you're actually doing yourself a disservice to not feel your own emotions and the lessons that you're meant to learn. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Little Life Lessons. This is episode number 8. That is crazy. Today we're going to be talking about heartbreaks. Guys, since the beginning of these episodes, I've always wanted to talk about this topic because I just felt like I had so much to say about it. Although I haven't felt a heartbreak in a little while, I feel like a lot of the knowledge that I learned still sits with me till this day. It still is a part of who I am. And I just feel like a heartbreak is one of the hardest things to go through. So if you guys are going through a heartbreak right now, or if you have gone through a heartbreak, just know that you are strong. You are a warrior, because honestly, I just feel like that's one of the most painful things. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic heartbreak. You know, it could be losing a family member and not having them be a part of your life anymore. You know, it could really be losing anyone that you really loved physically, like they have passed on, or that they are no longer in your life. It's really anyone you really love. And it's truly a grieving process because you go through all the 5 stages of grief. I do want to say, if you guys are going through a heartbreak right now, don't you worry, it will get better. And I know that's not what you want to hear. I know that's not what you want to hear. And that's not what I wanted to hear when I was going through a heartbreak. But it is, and it will happen. And you will love somebody again, and you will love somebody so amazing. If you let this heartbreak help you become a better person and help you grow, if you allow yourself to take the lesson that this experience is teaching you, then you will attract better people in the future. And obviously, that's not what you want to hear if you're going through a heartbreak. That's the last thing you want to hear. You don't want to hear about new people coming into your life. You truly just want to kind of think and talk about the person that broke your heart. And that's okay. I think that's a part of the grieving and mourning process of losing somebody in your life, because when you lose somebody in your life and they may not actually be gone from this earth, but they are gone from your life, it does feel like you've lost them. It's a loss and you grieve. And I heard this quote one time, and this girl said, "Grieving is just love with nowhere to go." And dang, was she right? Because it's like you have so much love for somebody and for this person or the relationship you guys had, and you had so much to look forward to, but then it ended and you're like, oh, where is all this energy going? Once you slowly learn to get through the heartbreak, I think you pour that energy back into yourself. And when you pour that energy back into yourself, you will develop into somebody who is so much more stronger and wiser and can choose people that is more aligned with who you are. But what is really important when you're going through the heartbreak is let yourself feel it. Girl, when I tell you it hurts, and I know, and you just have to really take it one day at a time. Don't think about next month or next year and if you'd be feeling the same way. Just really take it one day at a time and really let yourself just hurt if it hurts, you know? There are times where I just had to be like, okay, I give myself this day, and this day can be just me feeling all the emotions, and I just accept all the emotions that come along with it. And usually the next day I feel better, but those days will still come and I would still just let myself process it. But obviously I don't feel that way now, and I see all the lessons that I've learned from that heartbreak. But the thing is, during that time, that phase that you're going through, you are going through a lot of energy that's shifting, and just a lot of like reprogramming of your mind where your neural pathways are changing. And that's okay. You're learning new habits. Like, this is the time where you realize that you're used to doing something with somebody and then you're doing it by yourself, and you're like, okay, I miss them and I have to do it in a different way, or I have to think about this differently. Or you go somewhere and it reminds you of them and you're learning new experiences with that environment without them. I feel like that's like the developmental phase too, and the grieving process, because you're reminded of them, but then you slowly start to heal from that and you are developing new memories. But whatever stage of your heartbreak you're in, I say let yourself feel it. And one of the struggles I had during a heartbreak would be not letting myself feel the heartbreak, feel the pain and feel the emotion and feel the grief. And ultimately that pushed the process longer. The healing process could have been way shorter, but because I was rejecting all the emotions, because I was in denial and I didn't really want to feel it, and I thought I was just way better to feel these emotions, because I was going through all that, it just extended the process so much longer than it needed to be. So truly, sometimes you just need to let yourself feel your emotions. And one of the unhealthy mindsets I had, because I was looking at social media and people preaching about certain things that can sound very powerful but aren't necessarily healthy for me, or just I feel like a lot of relationships, is that you feel like you're too good. You're too good to feel the heartbreak. You're like, I'm too good for this person. I was just too good for them. They did this. I didn't feel any pain. Like, it's fine. Whatever they did to break your heart, even if it was with good intentions or bad intentions, whatever they did to break your heart, if you feel pain, let yourself feel pain, because you're actually doing yourself a disservice to not feel your own emotions and the lessons that you're meant to learn, because you're ultimately learning something new and growing. It doesn't matter who they are, what type of person they are, what they did to hurt you. You can still hurt, and it's okay to hurt. It's okay to be like, you know what? This person sucks. I can't believe they did that. But it still hurt my feelings. And I'm still hurt that they're no longer in my life. It's okay to feel that way. It's okay. No matter how they left your life, it's okay to still feel pain, because you're mourning so much. You're mourning the loss of the relationship. You're mourning the loss of the person. You're mourning the loss of the routine you had, the memories you've had, the future that you thought you were going to have. You're mourning a lot. It's okay to feel that pain. What you do with that pain is different. You just don't want to go out and hurt other people. You can let yourself feel it. And that's just how I process things. That's what I feel like is healthy. You might have a different perspective, but I truly feel that it is important, and it's better to process and go through things and then come out the other side with more wisdom and knowledge, and then share your experience instead of just crashing out. And trust, guys, trust. I have crashed it out because, heartbreak is painful. This is why I'm sharing a message as somebody who has learned from their mistakes, to kind of give yourself space and not react from that pain. I do want to go back to what I was saying earlier about finding somebody else. During that time when I was heartbroken, I truly did not believe that I would have found anybody else ever. And my best friend would say, don't worry, you will love somebody else again. Somebody else will love you. But I really thought that no one would have been able to love me the way that that person did. I've definitely had my fair share of heartbreaks. It's not just one singular heartbreak, but every heartbreak is different. But I truly felt like no one was going to be able to love me as much as that person did. And truly, after that heartbreak experience, I learned that I needed to learn how to love myself more. I needed to learn to set my boundaries where I needed to set it. I needed to learn to respect myself more so I could attract a partner that loves me more the way that I love myself, and the way that I truly deeply love myself, and the way that I take care of myself. That is what I expect out of a partner too. So maybe in a way, no one was able to love me like that person did, because the next person is going to love me way more, because I learned to love myself way more from this experience. I learned about the habits that I've had that is not really good. And it usually happens after heartbreak, where you're just like doing something one day and you're like, oh, I said that and I honestly didn't really mean that, and I don't know why I have these habits that I do, and this other person could have not liked that. There was just like this phase where you learn about yourself and you learn about the things that you also did wrong in the situation. You start getting downloads of things that you did in the relationship or you said in the relationship that was not necessarily good or healthy. Vice versa, you also notice things that the other person did that you didn't like, or kind of like red flags where you kind of let pass during the relationship, but you realize you don't like that. Then that's how you find somebody better for your future relationships. And I want to take this moment again to say, if you guys are watching this video, trust me, you will find love again. You will be loved in a way more than you will ever even imagine. You're going to come out the other end more loving, with a bigger heart, and with more experiences and wisdom. And also, there's nothing wrong with you. Everyone feels heartbreak, and we all feel it at different times. What's beautiful about life is not everyone is going through the same thing at the same time. So if you have somebody in your life that is stable right now, or that has gone through a heartbreak and can be there for you, definitely lean on them a little bit, because I feel like it's important to have that support system. I could not imagine who I would have been if I was going through a heartbreak and didn't have the support of my friends, especially one friend that I have in mind I love so much, because she is just the guiding force of the loving voice in my head. Because when I was going through such a hard time, she was just there to support me and provide such wisdom and knowledge in such a positive and loving way. And during that time, during the heartbreak, I just realized that it was space opening up for me to kind of reattach to something. And that something was me, and that something was myself, and my love for myself, and growing. And there was a lot that I needed to learn, but a lot that I didn't know. My friend was the one to kind of piece those pieces together for me, but in such a loving way. And now I just feel like I have such a positive and loving and caring mindset because of her, and because of the love that she showed me during my time of hurting. And now I just feel like that is such an important thing to have in life, that I try to be there for my friends when I can in those situations. And I even told my friend, like, she is my role model. Like, I want to be like her when I grow up. And for context, she is a few years older than me. So I truly just want to be like her when I grow up, because she is just an amazing human being. I want to end with this. Aren't you so lucky to have been able to put your heart out there and be vulnerable? You are strong enough to get through this. But what was more beautiful and what was more strong was that you let yourself be seen in such a vulnerable way, even though there was a possibility of getting hurt. But you still did it, because that's a part of being human. We feel. And you will get through this, and you will be loved again, and you are enough. But it is such a gift, one, to have your heart broken, and two, to have loved. Getting to love is one of the most beautiful things about being a human. And you got to do that. And you felt the repercussions of it. And I know it's painful, and you're probably on the other side saying, well, I don't want to love if this is the repercussions of it. But no. In a year and a half, you will see why it was so beneficial for you. We're lucky. We're lucky people. We're lucky people to have been able to love, and to be loved, and to share love, and to experience love. You get to experience love at its full capacity. With the heartbreak and all, girl. With the heartbreak and all. I hope you guys liked this episode. Thank you for tuning in. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next episode. Bye.